Guys, Anime Gypsy here with Boku no Hero Academia, My Hero Academia, Chapter 165 review. Now, I made a few mistakes in the live reaction. I said that one of the heroes there, Ryukyu, was one of the top 10, but I was mistaken. So, yeah, that out of the way. The chapter overall could be divided into three major progression points. The first one is the one with the rescue party above, um, and how. And this is another mistake I made. I said that the Deku they saw on top above was a clone that Twice made, but I was mistaken. It was Toga. Um, So yeah, it was an odd mistake. I was just caught in the moment, and I didn't realize that hey, if they made a clone of Deku, then that clone would fight Toga and Twice. So it's not Twice's ability; it's Toga's ability to shapeshift that convinced Uraraka and Asui that Deku was in trouble, which he was. Um, so overall, the chapter is a solid 4.5 out of 5. And that's because of the third point in story progression. The second point in story progression is when they first go down and you have that weird skirmish, and you see Night Eye's dying body and Miro, and they're basically helpless at this point. And Deku is kind of skirmishing against Overhaul, which I am 125% sure will not end well for Deku if he goes head to head with Overhaul, even with what happened to him in the third point in story progression. The third point in story progression is a flashback with Eri, that girl that we thought was Overhaul's daughter, uh, but in fact, she was the Yakuza head's granddaughter, and she has one of the most overpowered abilities possibly ever, and that is the ability to rewind something. That's straight out of Bleach. That's Orihime. Just yeah, it's unbelievable. It really is. That means she could bring people back to life. That means she could. No, there's an infinite amount of possibility in that. Which brings me to the conclusion that, unlike what I originally thought was going to happen with Miro, which is that whole, oh, is he going to inherit one for all deal that the fans were so riled up against, then, which I honestly didn't think was going to happen. I don't think Miro was going to get one for all from Midoriya or All Might. Um, there's just not a chance. Even though All Might is technically quirkless, I think even though he can't use his quirk, the quirk is still inside him in a way, which means he would pass it on to someone else. But I don't think that's going to happen. Um, but that being said, it's that flashback where she basically, as a kid, rewinded her father out of existence. Let me repeat that. She rewinded her father out of existence. That quirk is overpowered. It really is. But I still don't see how it could be used to remove someone's quirk. If you're gonna rewind someone's quirk ability, their entire body is gonna go with it too. And if you rewind only their ability, then what ends up happening is they gradually get their ability as years pass because it's just rewinded, it's not gone. And it just begs the question, what else is in in that in those bullets? And I have a theory I'm gonna spit out right now. Those bullets have two types of DNA in them. They have the girl's DNA and All for One's DNA. All right, and that girl's ability rewinds One for All's DNA, reviving his former strength or whatnot, allowing him to remotely receive quirks from other people. This is because this is the only conceivable way I see a quirk like Rewind being capable of removing other quirks. Uh, it's that is the only way, and it also adds up to that one scene when Overhaul was meeting with the League of Villains, and Shimura was like, "You could have this." What was that? What was in that valve? It looked like something that contained blood. And if it's One for All's blood, then that makes sense. They just took a strand of DNA, stuck it in the middle of her blood, and just mass produced that stuff. But of course, they'll need more blood eventually. But this is the only thing I could think of. And since they had a clear objective in mind, um, I think what their goal was to basically invade Hades, which is the prison that Stain and One for All are contained in. It it just this is the only way, in my perspective, that this adds up. This theory I am delivering to you guys is the only way I think this is happening, in my perspective. If you like the theory, just hit me up in the comments. Tell me what you think about it. Please don't steal it. Don't be that ass, please. All right. But if you like it, just share the video. And yeah, other than that, stuff that caught my eye would be Miro and his cape and all that stuff. That was very emotional. Aside from the revelation and how she was able to rewind that guy that Overhaul absorbed out of his body. Now, what I think is going to happen with Miro is that Miro is going to be affected by the girl, and she's going to give him his quirk back by rewinding his body to a point where his quirk wasn't taken by the other strand of DNA, which is All for One's DNA. And further evidence of that is the first time we get to see quirks disappear was after the League of Villains gave that valve. So this is all. This is all for this review and theory. If you like the review and the theory, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, please. I don't have that many subscribers. And until next time, this is Anime Gypsy, and I'm out.